Shalom, and welcome to another installment of Apostles of GMS, giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Today's date is 3/7/2015, which is March 7th, 2015. Today's topic is entitled, "For ye have need that one teach you again." And that's from the book of Hebrews, the 5th chapter and the 12th verse. If somebody got it, they can bring it out and read the whole verse. Whoever got it, let me know. Go ahead, read it.
Hebrews, the 5th chapter, and the 12th verse. This is Hebrews 5 and 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's talking about you got a lot of people, a lot of guys that, you know, we've been saying this. This has been the topic of this thing lately, man. You have to be on the level. You got to be tried in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? We have a lot of things. A word we use called novice. A lot of people are novice out there, man. You learn a couple of scriptures, and all of a sudden, you think that you on some kind of a level because you can memorize scriptures. Just like the Christians in the church, man. You watch that dude, what's his name? Creepshow Dollar, we call him. Right? And Reverend Calvin Butts and Reverend Price, all them, the preachers in the church and all that shit like that. Even Farrakhan, they quote all kind of scriptures. Anybody can sit down and study and memorize scriptures, but then, like the other scripture says, wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy getting, get understanding. See, when you get the wisdom, you have to really understand the wisdom. You have to really understand what it means. You got to understand these scriptures and really go into the deep, true breakdown of what it's really talking about. And then secondly, you have to apply the scriptures in your life. Don't just memorize them and spout them out. Like I said, that's what the Christians do. Creepshow Dollar do that. You got to apply the scriptures and actually apply them in your everyday life. So the problem is, a lot of people learn scriptures, okay, and memorize the scriptures, but then they really don't understand the scriptures, and that's how guys start going off and going into other breakdowns and all this other madness, man. So here it is, you got guys that are out there teaching, and that definitely applies to them other camps and GMS. You got guys in GMS, but them other camps too, like Apostle Tahar said at the Passover. General Yohana, he's a so-called general, he's a teacher, he's not on the level to be no teacher. This guy, Barack, you know, HODC, you know, him and Banyamin, you guys are not on the level to be teachers. Okay, like Apostle Tahar said last week, you guys need to just not go out no more. Don't put up videos no more, and just watch our videos, man. Watch the elders and apostles of GMS, and watch the other teachers in GMS, man, and you'll learn. You might learn something. Okay, all these other jokers, man, you guys, you need to come and be taught, because obviously you're not breaking the scriptures down right. Or this other guy, Bubble-Eyed Blackfish, even you, Zabak. Because I'm going to say something. If you still teaching that Cornelius is an Edomite, you ain't on the level to be a teacher. And that's what the scripture is talking about, man. If you still, after all these years, you guys that have been around for like at least 20 years, but you out there and got camps and all that, man, you're not on the level. If you still haven't grasped that, crossed that threshold yet, then you're not on the level. Was there more to that?
For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness.
Everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness. That's talking about the scriptures. Meaning you drinking milk, man. Like that means basically you're a baby. It's self-explanatory. It means you're a baby. So if you're a baby doesn't walk yet. A baby still crawls, man. Some babies can't even crawl, man. Some babies, when they're a baby, you can't even sit up. Your mama and daddy got to sit you up. Then as you get older and your muscles get stronger or whatever, the baby can sit up and they start their arms and little legs get stronger. Then eventually they crawl. Then eventually they start walking. So A lot of you guys are drinking milk, which means you're babies, which means that you don't understand the scriptures. You're unskillful in the scriptures. So how the hell you going to be out there calling yourself a teacher, man, and got guys under you?
Add a quick precept. This is Isaiah 28:9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Them that are weaned from the milk, meaning you grew up and you're no longer drinking the milk. You start eating little baby food. Then eventually you start eating solid food, man, meaning you start really coming up on the level. That's who the you want to say something, Apostle Taha?
Yeah. Like the brother just read, them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, right? Basically, you got guys out there that's still babies that still should be drinking milk, but they're trying to eat meat, and they're all messed up. That's why you see through the last couple, well, actually from day one, you get a lot of guys come in, and you know what? They'll never say, well, this is broken down that way, and that's broken down this way, and this means that when they first come in. They make sure they put some years in, and they learn as much as they can, and then they'll look at it, and then they'll, based upon what they already know, they'll flip shit around here and flip shit around over there, man. Like a good example is this guy Ricard that we call Bubble Eyes. He was the one that changed the name of the Most High and his son. Now he learned Hebrew. How the hell did you know the name of the Most High if you didn't know the Hebrew? Who taught you the Hebrew? You learned it from the main school under Ariyah and the teachers that was raised up, under him. In other words, guys like myself and Shalimar and other guys, they became teachers. We became teachers, all right? And you learned some Hebrew. So you looked at it and said, well, look, I got to change the doctrine. So let me find out. Let me give the true name in the Hebrew, because you knew the basics of the Hebrew. So you flipped it around. And then you made a statement when you first did that the white man, that word Yahweh, that's what the Rothschilds or the elite put it in there. Well, where's that? You never brought that book out. Where's that book? Where's the proof on that? It's not in there, man. That's why you got all these different camps, these different guys coming out there talking about the Israelites, and they'll listen to us and they'll listen to other groups and they'll put their own thing in it, and then it's nothing but a big mess, man. I mean, the mess that's going around is terrible, man. It's just terrible, Like you got this one guy, I think they call the seed of Israel. They're teaching that the Edomites is not the white man. Whatever they teaching, man. But they supposedly they were came up from under Rakar, of the IUIC, and they did their own thing. But they changed the name. But the name of the Most High is Yahuwah, and the name of the Lord is Yahshua. And those are old names that Esau used, man. And then you got the Dan thing. Dan is the Irish, or Dan are the Filipinos or whatever, or they're Japhites and this and that and the other. Or Dan is 144,000. If anybody's teaching, and we ain't playing no games, if you're teaching anything contrary to what we're teaching you, because the Most High set us up to be leaders. He ain't set you up to be leaders because you learn from us, not the other way around. That's how you know who your teachers are, man. Like I said, you don't come to the class day one talking about this means this and that. We're going to say, look, man, get your ass out of here, man. You sat down, you learned a bunch of things, you learned all of the breakdowns, and now you're going to change things, man? If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't know a goddamn thing. You've been doing what the hell you always was doing, man. That worldly shit, man. Now, if you're teaching that Dan is 144,000, you should be out to camp. Now, if you repented from that, then you're suspended for 6 months. Anybody that's teaching that, and anybody that allowed that thing to come in their ear and they considered it, they're suspended for 6 months. So now we got to do some, some rat hunting. We got to find out who the rats are in GMS. Because you can join the ISUPK. You can set up your own camp, man. You can get on a rocket ship and go to fucking Mars and teach up there if you want. Just don't teach around us, man. Give him the mic. No, you ask what? Go ahead.
This is 2 Timothy 2 Timothy 3:14. 3:14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Plain and to the point. Now I got a scripture right quick, and whatever y'all got, I already know the scripture's going to start raining on people. It says, 1 Corinthians 3:1, it said, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you, this is Paul speaking, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual. And then through the years, we gave you all these breakdowns, and we taught about reincarnation. You got this guy, Isaiah. He made a video recently saying that we're going off and teaching that there's reincarnation. And he had scriptures to bring out to prove that reincarnation doesn't exist. He's out of his mind, man. He's out of his mind. And basically, we ignore him, man. We just ignore that dude. Oh, you got this guy, Alizé. He saw the Passover video. And basically, he said, well, Tahar, you're going off. You said that the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread is the same thing. It's not. And then he brought out a scripture. To be technical, and I did say it. I made the point of it 48 minutes in. I made the point that the beginning of the Feast of Unleavened Bread starts on the 14th day at evening, which is called the Passover. And I said that, which is called the Passover. All right? But I said it means the Feast of Unleavened Bread is that whole 7-day period. The beginning of it is called the Passover. And I said that. Maybe I wasn't specific enough. In other words, you can't call 3 days into the Feast of Unleavened Bread the Passover. The first night, the 14th day at evening, the first month, that's called a Passover. On the Passover that evening, you eat the lamb, you eat the bitter herbs, and you eat unleavened bread. Why do you eat unleavened bread? Because that's going into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But it starts that night as the Passover. But you know what you wanted to do? You wanted to sound like you Mr. Know-It-All, man. You know, you want to sound like you can correct the elders now. You know? And then you had all your flunkies up in there under different names. I'm going to tell you something, man. Like I said, you outside the circle of GMS, man. You've been playing, just touch it. You've been playing games with the truth. You took 3 years of coming to truth. Now all of a sudden you're a super duper Israelite for 3 years. But then you got found out again because you wanted to be the guerrilla Hebrew. And then you didn't even call me Apostle Tahar, Elder Tahar. You just called me Tahar. And the Most High is going to get him, you know? All right? Because everything that you learned and everything that you do, your format is based on what you got from us. The New Year's thing. You do that because we did it, man. I heard he even did the Passover thing.
Passover lesson now.
Yeah, years back we didn't do no Passover lesson. We just started doing that, 3 years ago maybe? But that's what he does. But he's over us. He can correct us, man. He's a chief priest. You're full of yourself, man. Actually, you're full of demons, man. Okay? Let me continue to read. It says, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahushua. I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. So we gave you this meat, and you still can't bear it. Man, when you talk about the tribe of Dan, out of 144,000, that's a demon on you, man. Did you go by the scripture, Revelation, the 7th chapter, man, where it tells you about the elect that was sealed? 144,000 out of each tribe? That's a spirit on you, man. Like I said, if you recanted that you repented of that statement, you're still suspended for 6 months out the camp, man. If you keep teaching that doctrine, all right, then you're not in the camp, period. We're not